Some medical experts this morning are trying to put the brakes on the growing use of medical marijuana. Two doctors argued in the New York Times this week that laws are getting ahead of science. They say, quote, "The truth is we lack evidence not only for the efficacy of marijuana, but also for its safety." CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus is in Los Angeles. Doctor, good to see you.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
And happy Valentine's Day to you. Let's talk about this because there is an implicit understanding that these laws suggest that marijuana is safe.
Yeah, there's a major problem here. In the 1970s, the Assistant Secretary of Health argued that marijuana should be Class 1, which is the highest classification for a drug, right next to heroin and above cocaine, which is Class 2. Class 1 means there's no medical benefit at all, and it has a very high addiction potential. And he did it because he said there were some trials going on, and we'll know the answer of its safety soon. Well, it hasn't been changed in over 40 years, which means nobody can study it. If people can't study it, we really don't know if it works and if it's safe. That classification has to change.
You know, for a lot of people, Dr. Agus, people think of marijuana as a joke. I think of Cheech and Chong jokes. I think of people saying, I need some Doritos, I need some brownies. But you're here to say that there are some serious things that we should consider. So what are some of the side effects that we should be worried about?
Well, the first and foremost, and I can't emphasize this enough, is that the human brain develops until age 25. So if anybody under the age of 25 uses marijuana, there is a dramatic increase in psychiatric and cognitive problems as you get older. So that's number one. In everybody, there's a compound called THC, which goes to the brain and creates that high. But it also changes your reflexes, changes your personality. So we have to worry about these problems. Are people going to drive with it? How is it going to affect you long term? Your performance at work, your cognition? We need to understand this better.
David, it's also true, isn't it, that the marijuana on the market today is significantly more potent than the marijuana on the market in the 70s?
You know, there are 400 to 500 different chemical compounds in marijuana, and they change even in the same exact strain based on the soil, the temperature, etc. And yes, it's getting more potent. We're trying to breed things in there, and we don't understand the ratio and how these compounds work together.
Have you ever prescribed it for your patients?
Well, that's the great question, is that in my patients, what I do is I use the standard drugs for whether it be nausea, whether it be pain, or any other disorder they have. If they don't work, as a last resort, I have certainly used marijuana, and it has worked anecdotally in some patients, certainly not all. But I first used the FDA-approved drugs.
All right, Dr. David Agus, we thank you.